At a time when Eastern European and Asian countries have upped their military spending, the United States has cut its spending, which is totally confusing to yours truly, because President Barack Hussein Obama loves the checkbook. But suddenly he puts it away when it comes to defending America. I just don't get it. So, here with more details on this, how troubling it is and how dangerous it is my buddy and Newsmax TV contributor, Bill Tucker. Bill, walk us off the cliff.
Well, you know, to pick up on that theme of yours, if you listen to Democrats talk about this, you would think our military spending is off the charts, that it's just inexcusably out of control. But the reality, a little more sobering. We're going to talk about the size of our military, and for comparison, I thought we'd look at the number of active military personnel in 1987 versus today. Now, I picked 87 because that was the end of the Reagan era, when President Reagan had spent money restoring a dramatically weakened defense force that had been demoralized and was in bad need of repair. In 1987, there were 780,815 Army personnel, just over 586,000 Navy, 199,000 Marines, 607,000 Air Force, for a total military of 2,174,217. That's in 1987. At the end of 2014, the last year for which we have records, the number of active personnel in the Army, down 34%. There were 46% fewer Navy members, 3% fewer Marines, and our Air Force was down 46%, and the overall size of our military had shrunk by 38%. Now let's look at the Navy. When it comes to the proudest Navy in the free world, our fleet size is back to levels not seen since before World War II, well before World War II. In July of 1931, we had 308 active vessels. As of September of last year, we had 271 active ships. That, my friends, is 35 ships short of what the Navy says it needs to be capable today. And as for our Air Force, it is the smallest that it's ever been in history. According to the Air Force, the average age of our planes, is 27 years old. Most of our planes have an approximate lifespan of about 30 years. So we're nearing the end of our service lives on many of our planes. As for our tanker and cargo fleet, 50 years of age is the average age. To look at this from a favorite perspective of analysts, our military spending in 2015 amounted to 3.5% of our GDP. Russia, spending 5.4%. And that is according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. And Dennis, it's worth remembering the quote from George Orwell, that people can sleep peacefully in their beds at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf, and we are hurting those people that would defend us.
You know, the president's job, of all the jobs he or she, God forbid, their job is to protect Americans. Right. That is by and large it. You know, you can talk about losing your job, but you can replace a job. You can talk about the fact that you don't have health insurance, but you can get new health insurance. Or, God forbid, you get into the hospital, they're going to give you charity care. I mean, there's always a way. Yeah. But if you're dead, it doesn't matter. No. And my concern, what people don't understand a lot of times, is that what a president does in his presidency is carried over into the next presidency. Exactly. What this man has done to the United States of America, specifically to the military and the veterans, is going to go down as the most grotesque thing that any president has ever done to this country. He has weakened us in such a way. I mean, the fact that the Russians would be flying planes around our U.S. carriers like it's a game of chicken. Yep.
Well, because it is.
It is a game of chicken.
It is a game of chicken.
Because that president that we have will not do anything about it. And they know it. They know it, Bill.
Yes, they do. The world respects strength. I know that that's an unpopular notion with a lot of people, but the fact is you have to stand strong or you will have no respect. China thinks we're a joke because we have not stood up to them on a number of issues. We have to stand up for this country. We have to stand up for what we believe in. We have to be able to stand up to it and back it up. We don't. That doesn't mean people think, what a swell country, the United States of America. They think, what a bunch of fools. What a bunch of idiots. The world's a hard place. It's not what a lot of people in America seem to think, a kiddie romper room.
You know, this is one of the reasons why I truly believe that America is slowly but surely getting on that Trump train. Because he constantly talks about how he wants a strong military, how it is that he will rebuild that military. And at the end of the day, if we don't have the most powerful military in the world, not by a little, but by a whole lot, we are so unbelievably vulnerable. I think most people know it, most people feel it, and at a time when ISIS and terror is metastasizing and getting bigger and stronger and more scarier, we need a military.
Well, think about this, Dennis. We have fewer active ships today than we did in 1931.
1931! It's not even like we're saying 1981 or 1982. It's 1931! My goodness gracious, I didn't even know we knew how to build ships back then.
I think they were wooden ships. So.
You know, the greatest thing about Obama's presidency is that it's almost over. And this segment's over, Bill. All right, what do you guys think? Send me an email at dmlreport@newsmax.com. Bill, thanks again. And as always, another great but yet depressing block.